Welcome to the wonderful world of Pragmatic Psychology. I'm your host, Susanna Mittermaier, and we are going to explore how your difference is the gift that our world requires. Hello, amazing, wonderful you, and welcome to the next episode of Pragmatic Psychology, Be the Peacock. I hope you're doing really great in these times. So much change. It's incredible. It's like the whole world is in a big turnaround in every area of our lives. And gosh, people have so many points of view and are discussing back and forth about what's right, what's wrong, what's good and bad. And I mean, sometimes that can be fun, but I always wonder, is this really what creates our future? Going back of right and wrong and, good and bad, or what could we really choose and how can we use our time and our energy to really move forward? So, and I know judgments, right, wrong, good and bad is something that is so normal. I mean, most people probably don't even know what else to do than judge and find out, am I right? Am I wrong? Did I do the right decision here? Did I make the right choice? Or did I do something wrong? I mean, how much time are you using to make sure you're not wrong and to do the right thing? I mean, how much, if you just ask yourself, how much hours of the day or how many minutes of the day or what part of my day am I using to figure out whether I'm right or wrong or whether I'm doing things right or wrong or good or bad? Holy moly, that probably is a big part of your day. And question is, does it really have to be that way? Or is there another way that works even better? And I found that for me too, because I used to worry a lot if my choices were good enough or if I was doing the right thing, and then, after a while I realized actually I lose the joy. Every time I judge, I lose my joy, I lose my creativity, I lose me. That can't be it. And I just made a different choice. And I asked, so what's possible beyond the world of judgments? What is really possible beyond the world of judgments? And a whole new world opened up. So what is possible beyond the world of judgments? A lot, like a level of freedom, a level of power, a level of creativity that is off the charts. And how do you get there? By a really amazing tool that is so simple to use and that you can use every time when you notice yourself having a judgment. It's a tool I got from Access Consciousness. Access Consciousness is a worldwide movement that gives tools and all these amazing things that to make your life easier. And one of the tools there is interesting point of view. I have this point of view. And, I do classes so much nowadays, like every weekend. So I don't really remember if I gave you that tool on that podcast before. But let's see. It doesn't matter. You can hear this many times. People always forget, you give them tools and then they forget, oh, there's a tool so I can change things. So here's a tool you can use every time when you notice that you are worrying God, did I do that wrong again? Should I have done that instead? Oh no, maybe I should have done that instead. The whole head tripping thing. I'm sure none of you knows what that is. Probably most of you. Yeah, most of us are head trippers, constantly. Should I do? Should I not do? Did I do right, wrong? And then driving ourselves crazy. So how much more ease would be possible if you would just, every time you notice and you realize that you have a point of view or you have a judgment, just say, wow, interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Well, that's a pretty interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. And when you do that, maybe after a while you realize, I didn't even have a point of view. I don't know what that is or who I bought that from, but none of that is real. And there's a space opening up where you probably have no clue. At that moment, you think you know nothing, but that's the moment where you are opening up the space of questions and you realize, oh, I could ask, what do I really desire as my life? What do I desire as my future that I have not yet chosen? And that's a level of creation that most people are not willing to have. So if you are into the creation modus and if you would like to create your life, questions are a super great tool to get there. Because, most people are really good at finding answers and, this is what I should do, or this is how I should live my life, or maybe even this is something that other people want from me and other people desire from me. But what is it you? What is it you uniquely desire about you and your life and your future? Have you even considered asking yourself that? Have you tried to find that out? If not, start. Start today. And you don't have to be good at it. You don't have to be perfect at it. Just, start by becoming clear on what part of what I think I should have in my life is actually something other people want from me. And what part of it is something I desire that is truly amazing and fun for me. I used to have all kinds of points of view about how my life should be and look like. And I was so sure that that was my wish for my future. And so I try to get there, like things like having a steady job, like having an employment and going to that job every day and having a secure income. I was so sure this is something I wanted. And it was never really light, but I was just moving towards that with the, illusion kind of thinking that this is something I want. So I moved in that direction also with, creating family and all that stuff. And as I was moving towards creating all these things, there was a level of heaviness that like there was something about it that didn't make me happy. So I knew something is off. And I didn't really know what was off. I just knew something was off. So I asked a couple of questions. So what is going on? What's really up here? And ask for clarity. And then I realized, oh, holy moly, I was basically aware of other people's wishes and desires for me in my life that didn't have much to do with what I desired. That was a big thing to realize. How many things I was so sure it was mine. I was so sure it was in my world, and then realizing, holy moly, it's not. And I realized, oh, this person in my family desires me to have that life. That person in my family desires me to have this life. I have no clue what I want. If you are one of those people who have lived your life according to the wishes and desires of other people, you probably are really great at knowing what other people want from you and what their needs are. You're probably a really great need detective. That's a great, thing to put on our bio. My name is da da da, and I'm a really great need detective. So, and let's take that with humor. It's not that we did something wrong in our past. That's never the case. It's like, oh, okay, I made that choice. That wasn't really what I desired. Okay, thanks for the awareness. Next, doo-doo. That's a sound I learned. I lived in Sweden for a long time, and everywhere you were standing in a queue and it was your turn, there was the sound doo-doo. So that's what I hear when I say, okay, what's next? What's up? What else can I choose? I hear that sound. I'm weird. I told you I'm crazy. What's the fun part of it? Fun part of life is to be weird and crazy. How does it get any better than this? So let's move on. So if you resemble yourself, maybe you are also someone who is really, really great at knowing what other people need from you. You're like a need detective. Then that's a great thing. I mean, it's a great capacity to have. It's just like, how would you like to use that capacity? Would you like to use that capacity for you or against you? If you are a need detective and you know what other people need and you haven't really made that part clear to you, you probably use it against you. You do what other people need and you just do it automatically without noticing it. But the moment you turn on the lights and go, wait a second, what am I doing here? Is this even mine? Is this something I would like? Or is this something someone else would like from me? Oh, here we go again, need detective in motion. Then you can make a different choice and then ask yourself, okay, obviously, again, I'm aware of this person's needs of me. Okay, so what am I going to do with that? If I fulfill that need, if I do what the person requires me or desires me to do, all right, so if I do that, what will my life be like in the future? What will I create with that? If I don't do that, if I don't desire that person's needs of me, what will my life be in the future if I don't do that? And then check which one is lighter, which one of those options open up more for you. Because it's not about it being wrong that you do what other people need of you. Never. There's never anything wrong. It's just like if you make that choice from awareness, if you do it from choice, that's one thing. If you do it automatically because you're not even aware that you're doing it, you're not present with it, then you're reacting. And we talked about that before, remember? If not, check out the episode about acting and reacting. That's a great one before this one. You don't have to listen to them in order. It's just sometimes it's great to, have a little background about other perspectives. So this would be the case on this one. Yeah, so if you are reacting to other people's needs and just do it automatically without being present, that's one thing. But if you're present around it and go, okay, I'm actually, it's fun for me right now. It creates more if I fulfill that person's needs. Yep. Then you do it from action and then you're present with it and you are creating your future. So see, it's not about fulfilling or not fulfilling other people's needs. It's about, if I do this, what will my life be like in the future? You take a moment, you be present with what comes up, you see if it's light or heavy. Then you ask again, if I don't do it, so you do both parts. If I do it, if I fulfill other people's needs, what will my life be like? If I don't do it, well, what will my life be like in the future? And then you check which one opens up more and which one is lighter. And you go in that direction. That way you use your knowing as a GPS, as a navigation system to know what creates more for you. And if you look at your life, what parts of your life do you have today because this is something that other people need from you? Oops. And it's not wrong. It's like, okay, cool. I did that. Now I know. What can I change now? Like what's available for me now that I have not considered? When I realized that different parts of my life, like creating a family or having a steady job, when I realized, oh, that was someone else's point of view. That was, my family's point of view of what I should have, the security and the fixed job and everything. And I had a fixed job at that time. I didn't go, oh my God, I'm wrong. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I know. Now that I see clearer, this reminds me of the song, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Oh my God, that's a great song. That's how my mind works. I'm kind of like ADHD. Actually, I'm a psychologist, and while I was working as a psychologist testing other people for ADHD, my colleague pointed out, I think you are ADHD too. I'm like, yep, I think that's true. But that's a story for another episode, talking about, ADHD and all these diagnoses and what capacity they actually are. So this would be a future episode. But anyway, so this is my ADHD going crazy, having all these bright, shiny things are taking my attention and I'm off to another road. But see, I can still be a successful person with all that stuff. Actually, all this stuff, all this craziness adds to my success, to everything I do around the world. And, it's amazing. Like, if you don't have a point of view, everything is a contribution to you. So find out what's true for you. And when I realized that, oh my God, actually having this kind of job is not something I desire, I was really grateful for that awareness. And I asked, okay, so what's possible now? Okay, so when you realize these things, and you notice, okay, most of my part is living someone else's dream, someone else's life. All right, cool. No judgment, just gratitude for finally being aware of that and going, okay, cool. Now what's possible for me and my life and my future? And you don't have to have an answer right away. Give yourself the adventure of finding out, hey, what would I really like now? Isn't it a luxury? Isn't it an utmost luxury that you can find out what's true for you? Holy moly. I mean, so many people do what you're supposed to do, what's right, what's good, what's not wrong. And you now can move towards the luxury of creating your life the way you always desired and taking it step by step. No need to rush. Never ever need to rush. So what can you start with today? What choice can you make today that creates the future you desire right away? And don't look for an answer. Take this question like more, like you put this question into your personal navigation system, like, okay, I desire to go more in the direction of what's fun for me. Put that in your navigation system and don't think about it too much. When you think, you stink. Yes, that's a joke, but it's also true. So don't think about it, because when you think, you complicate everything. Just know what you know. Knowing is much greater than thinking. So know what you know. And when you put that question and when you put the I'd like to create a life that's fun for me into your navigation system, then move towards everything that feels like this, everything that has that energy of lightness, ease, and joy, because that's you. And how much is your life and who you truly are based on ease and joy and possibilities and space and lightness? What if you acknowledge that and move in that direction? That way, you're always, 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 always on to creating your future. And you will grow that awareness of the lightness and the ease and the joy. It will be something that will be more with you. The more you choose towards that, the more it will be part of your life, the more you will have access to that. And everything that's heavy, heaviness, don't think about it, don't analyze it, don't understand it. And I do dare saying this as a psychologist, don't think about it too much, don't analyze it, don't try to understand it. Just ignore heaviness and move towards the lightness. Understanding is always where you stand under something. The word tells us what it is for. Understanding is standing under. It's something where your cognition, your thinking, traps you in something that's not relevant. So when something is heavy, you can always check, does this have anything to do with me? Is this even mine? Is this even relevant right now? And if it is relevant, you will know. And you can find more out about it. You can find out more about it. If not, just ignore it and move towards the lightness. That's more who you are. So what life is fun for you? And you can find out by a couple of things that you have done so far that give you joy. Like, maybe horseback riding, maybe singing in the rain. Oh gosh, another song in my head. Singing in the rain or whatever, what's fun for you? What brings you joy? Do those things, because they will move you more towards what you can create as your future. Also business-wise, like we always think that, if I do something that's fun for me, I'm neglecting my business or I'm neglecting my creations. No, that's not true at all. When you do what's fun for you, you're actually giving fuel to every part of your life. You're nurturing every part of your life. So do more of what's fun for you. At least 30 minutes every day. Find a time to do something that gives you joy, aliveness, a sense of possibility and ease. And notice how your body and you are relaxing. And that way you are onto creating your future in every part of your life. So go and have way too much fun. Be willing to scare other people with your fun or inspire them. Whatever people react, in your presence, however they react, that's their choice, not your problem. You go and be you, turn yourself up and inspire the world and have way too much fun. So I'm looking forward to the next episode of Pragmatic Psychology and Be the Peacock. Woo-hoo! How was the show for you? Are you inspired? Feel free to share this episode with anyone you think would appreciate it too. Thank you for the contribution you are to spreading possibilities around the world. For more information, visit my webpage www.susannamittermaier.com.